Hello everyone and welcome to WGBS TV Live, brought to you by SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. In this, our December 15th and final show of 2020, we're going to be covering a range of topics, including Zack Snyder's wish to have his version of Justice League receive a theatrical cut. We're going to be talking about Tyler Hoechlin's new Superman costume. We told you it would drop the day after our show. And,
Yep.
and we're going to talk about a lot of other things, the year as a whole. And to let you know how you can get involved and how you can be part of tonight's show, let me introduce you to my co-host, a very festive Michael Bailey. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Steve. How's it going?
Doing well. You sound festive.
I'm fine. Yeah, I got eggnog.
Hey.
Yes, it's in a Superman cup. It may or may not have rum in it. It has rum in it. So, I'll be sipping on that throughout the thing. But anyways, no one wants to hear about my borderline alcoholism. And they don't want to hear how my day went. They want to hear about Superman because they're tuned into WGBS Live. And because you're tuned into WGBS Live, we want to hear from the fans that are watching us live right now on YouTube. So about halfway through the show, and if we don't have a lot to talk about, which, folks, gonna be real, we got a lot to talk about this week. It's the end of the year. We got a lot to cover before I've got to give all of my receipts to Steve so that he can write them off on his taxes. But anyways, if we were to take calls, this is how you do it. First, you're going to need Skype. Go to Skype, find Superman homepage, and send us a message that you would like to chat with us live tonight. Now, two things. One, wait for us to call you because this is a very, very, very fragile system, and anything can screw it up. Also, if you are watching WGBS Live via a external speaker, please turn that down because we are on a bit of a delay, and that can screw things up.
Yes, indeed. And, Doug's commented that you are receiving some snow there just above your head while you drink your eggnog. So it's very appropriate. As you can see on my side of the screen, no snow because it's summer here. And I was going to try to wear this festive, ugly Superman sweater, but can't do it. I'll melt. So I've just got the Superman background with Santa behind him next to him. So.
I am also festive. You really can't see it. I've got a cool Superman Batman Christmas shirt that my wife got me a couple years ago.
Nice.
To answer Mark Lax's question, yes, it is Mayfield eggnog. Mayfield is not making eggnog anymore because it got bought out by another company, but my wife managed to find some of the last of it. And Doug Meacham is suggesting that because I have a little bit of rum that I'm going to get my Jeff East on. No, I will not be randomly swearing. Well, actually, considering what our first topic is, maybe I should be swearing.
Yeah, before we get into the first topic, I want to thank our sponsors and patrons, Douglas Meacham, who is in the comments, and John Patrick Van Pelt. And if you want to sponsor our Superman homepage, you can click the join button below there on YouTube and become a YouTube member with different levels of perks. And you can also head to patreon.com/Superman homepage. John's asking in one of our sponsors, do we have any idea yet what day the Superman homepage will be on? Well, we're going to stick to Tuesday nights for the beginning of January. So we'll stick to that. And then in February, we will look to change nights because of Superman and Lois starting its run on Tuesday nights, which will clash with us. So at this point in time, we've just had a bit of a brief chat, and Michael and I are thinking about returning to Monday nights, which is what the show used to be on before Supergirl stuffed that up. So we keep being moved around, but at this point in time, we're sticking to Tuesday nights, and then we will shift to Monday nights, but we'll give you plenty of warning when that happens. So don't stress. We will all figure it out and give you plenty of notice before any of that takes place. All right, well, let's start. Yes, sorry, do you want to say something before we go into
No, I was just about to say it'd be interesting. It's going to be interesting going back to Mondays, and we aren't beholden to corporate interests, but apparently we're beholden to corporate interests in a more roundabout way. Yes. They don't tell us what to say, but they keep moving when we talk.
But it just makes sense because with Superman and Lois being Tuesday night, I know it's at 9 p.m., but that would be in the middle of people on the West Coast when they're watching it. So it gives us time to, watch the show, get the new trailers, all that kind of stuff, and then have the end of the week start talking about what's going to happen on the next episode. So I think it'll work out well. Plus, it'll just fit nicely with what we used to do back when Radio KAL was live on Monday night. So it's kind of comes full circle. But like I said, we'll give you plenty of notice. So let's get into tonight's topics. Movie news. Zack Snyder. HBO Max is going to be premiering his cut of Justice League sometime in 2021. But Snyder had a chat with EW.com this week and has kind of intimated that he'd like to see it released theatrically.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised at that. I always kind of figured that was going to be in their back pocket anyways, in terms of doing a theatrical cut or a theatrical release, just to make up a little bit more of the money. I mean, they're going to get probably some pretty decent scratch from HBO Max and the streaming, but to me, it makes more sense that since they have kind of like a built-in audience already, why not release it on a limited? I don't think they'll wide release it, but it brings up this thing, and it was the guy who directed the new Dune adaptation had a meltdown. I may be being dramatic about that, but that's kind of how it felt, where he was just like, decrying the death of cinema and how, that's not the movie he made, and HBO is just cheaping out, and, it's like, AT&T is screwing everything up. I'm really paraphrasing there. And what's his name? Chris Nolan has also been whining. And I say whining because in that article, Zach was talking about how, well, maybe people overreacted to this COVID thing, and I was like literally offended by that. There have been over 300,000 people in this country that are dead now because this country has not reacted the way it should to put a lid on this early. And, F that guy if he's just going to say, oh, well, now that we have like a vaccine, it'll be okay, and maybe we overreacted. No, we underreacted. And I get that there are people that want this cinematic experience and to be in them, sitting in the cinema, and it's dark and the sound's all around you and the screen is huge in front of you. And I get that, because when I saw Superman the movie for the first time on the big screen, granted it was like it seemed like a 4K transfer, but I suddenly got why the space thing was the way it was. Because you literally see it all around you. It's amazing. You never get that on a home video thing. But that's, what is HBO supposed to sit on these movies for a year? How is that going to make them any money? Exactly. And what about the anticipation of it? It's just, bad enough that it's just like, oh, it's going to be R-rated, and, Batman may drop an F-bomb, which, that's cool. So edgelord. It just bothered me when I read that. It literally, I nearly. I was having a bad day at work anyway, so that might have played a little bit of it into it. But it was just like, how can you say that when how many people have been infected and how many people have died? We don't normally talk about it, and I'm not getting and I'm not getting on a political soapbox. This country dropped the ball. It just did. And to sit there and say, oh, everybody needs to get back out of the theater to see my vision on screen is horrendously arrogant.
Yeah. And John's asking, he thought all 2021 new films from Warner Brothers are supposed to be on HBO Max. Yes, that's true. That's what it is. That's the point. Warner Brothers have decided that their upcoming films will be released, coincide with their theatrical release and their release on HBO Max. And that's because, one, a lot of people, as you said, do not feel safe yet going out to theaters and sitting there. They're usually not that clean anyway. They say they go and do a cleaning, and then there's still popcorn on your seat when you get in there. And two, as I said, they've got to release them sooner or later they can't just keep sitting on them. They've got to get some return for their dollars. So they're doing a half and half approach. And I understand what Snyder's saying about, look, films, that theatre experience is a major part of, enjoying a film, but not at the cost of your health, as he said. So if people aren't feeling safe enough, then, HBO Max's subscriptions are going to help Warner Brothers' bottom line as well. This is not this is not going on forever. This may be a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever. We don't know. Obviously, their preference would be for theatrical releases, Warner Brothers, I'm saying. But in this climate, they're not going to chance only a theatrical release, because then they will lose more money. They're going to make up some money with HBO Max subscriptions that for people who don't feel safe enough going to a theatre. So I guess it's the best of both worlds for them at the moment. It's not ideal, and it's probably not what the directors want, because, as you said, they feel like the theatre experience is what they're actually making their movie for. But you can't have your cake and eat it too. You've got to be able to be responsible in this way. And so, look, I would like to see a theatrical release of Snyder's Cut. I don't know about sitting in a theatre for 4 hours. I'd need an intermission to sit that long, but not that would necessarily be the way they would go. But it's, here in Australia, I would be very confident about going to a theatre, because we haven't, other than today, I think there was one, we haven't had any community-based infections. So, it's for a couple of weeks. So, this could be something that other countries might look at, but I think doing both would be a safe bet for Warner Brothers.
Plus, I'm at Walmart fairly regularly, to shop and stuff, and I always go by the electronics department just to see what's out on home entertainment. There's 70-inch TVs in there.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like 20 years ago when the TVs were relatively small. These things are huge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, and if you darken your room and you've got a surround sound system, you've got a home theater. Yeah. You've got a home theater experience. I mean,
exactly. It's not the same as sitting with a crowd. I mean, unless you want to invite 50 people to your house to sit and watch it, if you've got the room. But look, I think it would be interesting, and I can understand why Snyder is calling for it. But I think he was a bit irresponsible in his knee-jerk comment that he made about and his cynicism about, he hopes that this is not a greater move to disrupt the theatrical experience. I don't understand why anybody would want to do that. I mean, Warner Brothers still makes money from theatrical releases. Why would HBO Max be a threat to that for them?
Movies are constantly changing. The economics and the way people go to films are changing. Before Jaws, you didn't really have a blockbuster, so named that there were so many people on the block that it was being broken. That's the origin of it. And as movies have gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and the budgets have gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and the expected returns on those budgets have gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, we were at a saturation point anyways. I always saw Endgame as like that kind of that moment where it's just like, okay, we really need to calm down now. But having said that, I'm still going to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League. Kind of annoyed that his name is bigger than Justice League on that, but, this is all about him anyways. No, I didn't realize I was as mad at him as I am, but I am, like, really annoyed right now. It's like the F-bomb thing is a whole nother argument. This is just insensitivity on a level that I'm surprised that a man that has gone through what he's gone through would be that insensitive to other people. Yeah,
exactly. All right, well, let's move on, push past Zack Snyder, and wait for any kind of revelations as to what will happen there, come mid-2021 when this is likely to be released, and see if a theatrical release does happen. Everything's really fluid at the moment as far as COVID-19 is concerned, with new strains being found in the UK and vaccines coming out. So who knows where we'll be mid 2021 in a health and society based way.
Yeah.
All right, so on the TV side of things, as I said, the day after we finished our last show, CW dropped
Told you.
Tyler Heckland's new Superman costume for the upcoming series Superman and Lois. So I did a thorough examination of the suit, but I'll get your thoughts on this image that was released of Tyler Heckland in the new Superman costume.
Okay. I have one major problem with this photograph, and that it really looks like that cape is on like a fishing line.
Yes,
and being tugged.
That's obvious.
I mean, it's just like, guys, come on, you got Photoshop, work with it. I mean, you added all like the sparks at the bottom of it. Overall, I'm very happy with this suit. It is much more traditional. I like the red in the middle. It's kind of New 52-ish, a little Rebirth-ish. I could do with a larger S, just because he's got the chest for it, and I really liked the size of the previous one. The cape is super classic. I realized when I was like thinking about how I felt about it and watching social media's reaction that one, I think everybody but me hated the cape clasps. Pretty sure, given how like that was always like, this is good, this is good, this is good. Thank God. And also, apparently, I don't have an opinion about his collar.
Okay.
Like I saw a bunch of people going, the collar's too high, and they want that kind of like
square,
a little Christopher Reeve-ish. I like that it's up there. I'm glad it's not like the Jim Lee collar that like went up all the way to the neck. But I actually kind of like that. The suit is a great color. That's a good deep blue. The red looks good. I'm going to go so far as to say is outside of the S symbol, that is a much better suit than the Man of Steel or the Justice League outfit. Okay. Because that splash of red in the middle, man, it just breaks that suit up and it makes it look better.
Yeah, well, as I said in my examination of the suit in detail, I'm super happy that the belt clasp things are gone from the way the cape attaches. That was my main gripe with the previous costume, as you mentioned. The cape tucking into the collar is just the classic, real good. I love that look, and so it's, to me, that does does the whole suit, just lifts it completely. The S is a little bit small considering what the sizes they had previously was probably an ideal size. That may be exaggerated by the fact that because the collar now is a little bit higher, that there's more gap between the top of the S and his neckline, which may give that impression. That whole kind of area, the neckline and the S being the size, gives me a real Superman Returns vibe. That was very much Brandon Routh's style in that area. Obviously, everything else with the pattern in the blue and the pattern in the S's and everything like that is very Man of Steel. It has got almost like that New 52 thing with, it's not armor, but it has those seams, give it that kind of take inspiration from that. All in all, the belt, it's fine. It breaks up the suit, as you said. It has that dip and the emblems shaped buckle to it, which is all fine. That doesn't bother me at all. And then the cape is great length, great color. It's a fabric where the previous one had that pleather kind of look to it, which I don't like, and which was probably my main problem with Superman Returns costume, was that the cape material. And then the boots, they have a more athletic kind of look to them, more sporty. So all in all, I think this is a great blend of a number of different designs.
That's a great comment about the boots. As much as I didn't hate the last costume, those boots were clunky. They just... it looked like he was wearing, like when I was a kid and played soccer and had, football, for UK and Australia listeners. I know it's not rugby, so it's not real sports, but when you would have to wear like shin pads, that's kind of what those boots looked like.
I know what you mean.
And that, just that kind of, it's classic. I think that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
This thing is just a classic-looking Superman outfit. No, it doesn't have the trunks, but it has everything else about a Superman costume that you could want. And I can't wait to see it like move. I can't wait to see him in it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of movement, there were some behind-the-scenes photos that leaked online through justjared.com, and they show, give us a better indication of what it looks like with movement. And people complaining about padding or what have you. The costumes have had padding in them since Christopher Reeve. I mean, he wore a wig and he had, they were all different things that you don't realize, you don't know. But we want our superheroes to look, like they come off a comic book page. Then you're going to have to expect some padding in that, because these designs of these costumes are compression suits, and so they compress the muscle that is there. So they need what they call muscle suits underneath for the definition. I mean, Henry Cavill, who is the most muscular Superman we've seen, still wore some kind of a bodysuit underneath, because the compression of the suit that they were wearing really mushed up his muscles. So they need some kind of definition stuff underneath. But some of these photos look better than others. But all in all, I think in movement and the way the cape sits and the length of it, and you can see the boots in that photo there, they almost look like an athletic shoe. People are complaining about the lifts in them. He's a 6'1" actor. He needs to stand above others. They're going to put lifts in them. I mean, that's just... It's not going to be that noticeable when he's moving. So I don't know what the problem is for most people. But all in all, I think, this looks fantastic.
All in all, I'd say it's swell.
And you can see in these other photos that they're taking the necessary precautions with COVID-19 in between shots. He's got his mask on that actually has his own name on it, so they're sparing no expense with their actual COVID-19 masks, but they're wearing them in between shots and moving to and from the set. So good on them for doing what's necessary to keep the show continuing to run without any dramas.
You're dead on about the length of the cape. It just sits right where it needs to. It's not too short. It's not like too long and like a little unrealistic. I'm sure there's different lengths for different scenes, of course, because that's what they do. But yeah.
Yeah, Michael in the comments is asking, Christopher Reeve wore a wig. Yeah, he did. There are some of them sitting in the Super Museum in Metropolis, Illinois, where I don't know if it was, I think it was for Superman the movie as well as some of the later ones, but definitely, wore a wig for many of those films. Yes, he coloured his hair as well, but it's a fact.
Yeah, I mean, and he wasn't in the best of shape when he started as Superman. No. The late David Prowse is the one that got him into it. So it's like all these things where the people put Reeve up on this pedestal and not realize that he worked that suit, but he had some help.
Of course, definitely. So if you want to check out my examination of the Tyler Heckland Superman costume for Superman and Lois, the article is there on our website in the movies section. I go into all details that I usually do and even compare it to the previous costume that he wore as seen on Supergirl, which is a major improvement on that costume. And people have been commenting on his 5 o'clock shadow. This is a fellow who shaves in the morning and has a beard by the afternoon. I don't mind that rugged look. I mean, we had Henry Cavill had the curly hairs coming out of his chest above the costume.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Which I did not notice until I got a Blu-ray player, and then I couldn't see anything else. It's like, dude, come on, Manscaped, let's go.
Yeah. And yes, Anthony, he did use a bit of shoe polish to colour his hair, Christopher Reeve, but there are capes that were also, wigs that were also used for various scenes as well. So it's all movie magic. It happens. They have different capes, different suits, different boots, everything.
It's all a lie.
It's all a lie. It's movie magic. All right. So pushing on, CW also released this image of Lois and Clark from the CW's upcoming show. This gives us a first look at the couple for the upcoming show. And Bitsy Chulok had some really good things to say about playing Lois. She said, "I find Lois inspiring in how little she gives a crap about what anyone thinks of her. She's not doing the work for glory or for more Pulitzers. She's doing it because she believes in justice and truth."
Yeah, I read that and I went, she's got it. She's nailed who this character is. Mm-hmm. She, in a couple sentences, got Lois in a way that I don't think other actresses kind of approached the character. I think that was my biggest problem with the Superman the Man of Tomorrow animated film, is that Lois seemed she didn't seem to just want to get the story. It's like she wanted to get the story so she could get like in a higher position.
Yeah.
And I just like the idea that this Lois, she doesn't care about getting accolades. She just wants to get the truth out there. Now, to be fair, she's lying every day. She knows who Superman is. I get that. But at the same time, it's a good approach to have for the character.
And there were some great comments from Tyler in the press release that came out with the costume photo of his thoughts on the costume and the character, and that he feels that it's not his costume but the show's costume, because this is a costume that reflects the changes in the character that they're doing as well. But I also like that he said it's like wearing a uniform for a basketball team, or that they're all part of the team, and he's just wearing the outfit that represents everybody who's making the show.
Yeah, everybody involved seems to have a really great attitude about the show and about the character, and they're like approaching it with a reverence that I hope doesn't hold the show back, but at the same time, it's nice that it's there. And it's somebody, I saw somebody on social media joking that he should be wearing flannel. That's fair, but no, it's just he's looking pretty slick there. I like his specs.
John's asking, are they the same ones that he wore in the Crisis crossover? I don't know. I haven't really examined the. I imagine they're probably the new ones.
Yeah, I don't think they are, because the ones at the Crisis and the ones he wore before were kind of like black and clunky.
Yeah,
those are Dean Cain-ish, in a way. Which I wonder if they're gonna do that if he wears ties, or is there gonna be a website coming out about them? Just like the old days.
Yeah. Who knows?
It'll get a Tumblr.
Well, it could. All right. The CW also released the episode titles and the dates that the first 5 episodes will be airing on. So just looking through them, obviously the pilot episode we know will air on Tuesday, February 23rd, and is titled Pilot. The second episode is titled Heritage, and will follow the following week. Then the third episode is interestingly titled The Perks of Not Being a Wallflower, which will air on Tuesday, March 9th. Episode 4 will be Haywire, and that'll be on March 16th. And then the 5th episode is The Beacon, and that's on Tuesday, March 23rd. So we have 5 consecutive weeks of episodes from the pilot onwards.
Justin in the chat says a flannel and a mullet. Yeah, you can. Doors over there, Justin.
Don't let it hit you on the way out.
Yeah.
Any comments on some of these titles?
The Perks of Not Being a Wallflower is a nice reference to that book and movie, and kind of accentuates the kind of teenage aspect of this, because what we don't talk about, because they haven't really been released. We haven't gotten like pictures of the Kent boys. So, but this is going to be part Superman and Lois and part the kids. So it's nice that it seems like they're going to have kind of an ebb and flow. The Heritage one really has my attention. I'm wondering if that's going to be more Clark discussing the heritage that their kids have that they just found out about.
Yeah, maybe. Yes. John in the comments is saying Haywire has to be about Livewire, right? I don't know. It's a bit of a stretch just because of the wire word in there.
I'm willing to bet it's the kid. If one of the kids has superpowers, it might be his superpowers going haywire.
Nearly let it slip there, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, one of superpowers going haywire would be my thoughts there, and maybe the beacon has something to do with the Fortress of Solitude or something along those lines. We'll have to wait and see. But February 23rd, the premiere date on the CW at 9 p.m. Early next year. So looking forward to that. And there's been a bit of casting news, and I wondered where this would happen, if it would happen, because we'd only heard about the older daughter of Lana Lang to this point in time, and you and I both know that they have two daughters in what we've read of the pilot episode. And we've just found out that Jocelyn Picard has been cast as the younger daughter of Lana Lang and her husband Kyle Cushing. She's playing the role of Sophie Cushing, who is the youngest daughter of Lana and Kyle. Sophie is a spirited, rebellious 8-year-old who's quite a handful. So that's the young actress there, and she's been cast in the role of a recurring guest star, so I don't think she'll have a major part to play in the show, but an important role nevertheless.
No, it'll be like, what was Lana's aunt's name? God, what was her name?
In Smallville?
In Smallville. Aunt Lil?
No, that
What,
doesn't.
Lil?
Somebody will tell us in the comments, but it doesn't really...
Yeah, this shows you how much I've retained of certain elements of Smallville. I just know at the end of the episode there'll be like a song and Clark will look pensive and walk away.
Yeah, so and someone's commenting, Anthony's commenting on your dog sleeping there.
Yeah, Gracie had a seizure before the show tonight, so she's needing a little
TLC.
extra attention. Yeah, so she gets to be on the show tonight, even though she's kind of sleeping through it.
Aunt Nell, thank you.
Aunt Nell, there you go. I knew there was an L in it. Yes.
No, Justin, she's not Aunt May. All right, so that's the casting news for Superman and Lois. We're going to take a quick break. We're just over the halfway point of tonight's show. We're going to come back with discussion about Krypto on Titans Season 3. A really nice story on that. And we're going to be talking comic books and so much more. Yes, thank you. John also came in with Nell Potter being the surname of Lana's aunt in the TV series Smallville. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after these messages. Don't go anywhere.
We'll be back in a moment with the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
If you're enjoying WGBS TV Live, then please like and share this video with your family and friends. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can click on the bell to receive notifications whenever we post a new video. You can also join our YouTube membership program. Just click the join button below. Or you can become a patron and support our website by visiting patreon.com/Superman homepage.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. No, it's SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. SupermanHomepage.com, covering the world of Superman from the 1930s to today. News, reviews, rumors, and reports. SupermanHomepage.com for all your Superman comics, TV shows, movies, cartoons, radio shows, and more. Everything you ever wanted to know about the Man of Steel and more. SupermanHomepage.com.
Thanks, Superman Homepage, for all the support over the years. I really appreciate it.
I'm Matt Balmer, the voice of Superman and Superman Unbound, and this is the Superman Homepage.
Right here on Superman Homepage.
He's faster than a speeding bullet. He's more powerful than a locomotive. He can leap tall buildings in a single bound. Who is he? He's Superman!
Now you can see scenes from Superman the movie on a ViewMaster viewer. Just put in a reel and click. You can see Superman, the legendary Man of Steel, in action. You can invite the whole gang over to see him. ViewMaster viewer and Superman the movie packets sold separately in most photo or toy departments.
And we're back on WGBS TV Live for our final show of 2020. And interesting, today, Tuesday, 15th of December, 1978, Superman the movie was released to the wider USA theatre audience. It had its premiere a couple of days earlier, but today was its wide release, so 42 years ago.
Wow. That was a long time ago.
All right. Yes, we are going to do a final big question and super secret soundbite, but I just wanted to get first onto this story about the new dog playing Krypto in season 3 of the HBO Max series Titans. The story behind this was posted on Joshua Orpin's social media account, where he spoke about the rescue dog whose name is Pepsi. Who is a rescue dog that they've been training and obviously brought up, and now he's getting in front of the camera, and he was at a boarding kennel, and he was fostered to a home, and the trainer Melissa Millette has raised this dog, who is now an acting dog and will be playing Krypto in season 3 of Titans, which will air on HBO Max in 2021. And he says he was small, timid, and lacking socialization, but very fortunately made it out of the US and was delivered to Melissa and the Krypto team 1 week before the pandemic hit. And now he's healthy, happy, and brave, and he's killing it in front of the camera. Yeah,
I'm a big believer in rescue dogs. We have one. It was Rachel's mother's dog. Now it's her father's dog. But Lady was a rescue, and she had a lot of problems, but now is obnoxious and insane. It's better than how she was, but no, it's just a heartwarming story. It's just so adorable to see this dog just sitting here like, why am I wearing this cape? What, guys, come on.
And we don't know why they replaced or changed which dog. It may just be that these things happen, and we don't know if there's anything wrong with the other dog, or if it's just the owner is not doing it anymore. Anyway, who knows? But it's great to see that they're using a rescue dog who's doing so well to play Krypto, which is, I think, fantastic.
Absolutely.
All right. Yes, we're going to go into our segments. First, let's start with the fan favorite segment of our show, which I'm going to play the intro. All right, well, we only had one response, but what was our fan favorite question from last week, Michael?
Do you have a favorite Superman Christmas ornament? And Sean Strawbridge wrote in. He says, I really hope I am not sending this too late to be featured on the show. I wanted to show you guys my favorite Superman holiday ornament. Easy for you to say. It was released last year by Hallmark as part of their keepsake collection. It's a great ornament of Christopher Reeve as Superman. It has a feature that plays a segment of the music from the score by John Williams. Nice. I know it is a recent release, but it's an immediate favorite addition to my DC-themed Christmas tree. Thank you guys for the wonderful content, and have a very happy holiday.
Very nice. Thank you. That's fantastic to get that one response from Sean. We really appreciate him sending in that photo. I thought we would get more, seeing it's, people would have unpacked them and put them on their tree for this year. I know Justin posted a comment or a thread on our Facebook group where people could send theirs in, but here is my favorite one. It's not the best photo of it. It's not actually an ornament, it's a statue, and I saw one of these, or a couple of these, go on eBay this week, and they're pretty rare to find, but it's a great Superman Santa statue. But if I had to go with an ornament that hangs on my tree, this is my favorite.
That's
one,
it.
The Peace on Earth.
That's mine too. Got that from the Warner Brothers store.
Yep.
It was one of the probably one of my first Christmases with Rachel. We got that. Yeah, I love that one. It's Superman the animated series. which makes sense for the time period it was
Yeah.
released in. But yeah, just a fantastic and a heavy thing.
Yes, you got to really hang it on that branch, otherwise it's going to come tumbling off. But yeah, that's my favourite ornament, and I guess that's just found out that's yours too. All right, well,
I'm glad that you had a picture as I forgot to send it about 5 seconds before you called.
No dramas. So what is our new fan favourite question for when we return in January?
What Superman presents have you received for Christmas, or did you receive for Christmas?
Yeah, so by the time we get around to this segment early next year, you will have unwrapped your Christmas presents and found out if you did receive any Superman-related presents for Christmas. So if you did, if you do, send in a photo to us at this address that is at the bottom of your screen right now. If I can shift it up, there it is, info@supermanhomepage.com. Send in your emails with a photo of whatever Superman gifts you receive this Christmas, and we will feature them when we return to the fan favourite segment in January. And I can let you know now, I haven't discussed it with Michael, but we're looking to return, I think it's January 12 is the Tuesday that is probably the most likely one. I'll talk with you, Michael, but I'm pretty sure that should be...
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, so info@supermanhomepage.com. Send your emails with photos of your Superman Christmas presents, and we will feature them when we return January 12th. All right, let's move into the big questions segment of our show.
Let's start with the big question.
All right, our big question from last month was, what items do you like collecting the most? So what items do you like collecting the most, and why? Who did we receive responses from, Michael?
First one is from Cyrus Trochet. Cyrus wrote, Blu-rays and DVDs. While I love comic books, the less frequent rate of release makes them easier to keep up with, and while still having a balance between new and old material. Some particularly fond memories are the Smallville sets, which is how I followed that show in its entire run, and the animated films. I remember buying Superman Doomsday when it came out. Warner Archive has kept interesting titles coming, even if there never could be a year as jam-packed as when Superman Returns was coming out. Oh, he's not kidding.
Yes, so thank you for your response there, Cyrus. And next up, we have John P. Van Pelt, who wrote, I enjoy collecting Superman clothes like t-shirts, sweaters, and I try to buy my t-shirts or sweaters when they go on sale either on the WB Shop online store or on Amazon.com. So thank you, John, for your response. So we didn't get any other responses to what I thought would be a pretty easy question, but yeah. But on a night where we're pushed for time, it's probably not a problem. But what is our new big question for when we return to this segment at the end of January, Michael?
What Superman-related item or event are you looking forward to most in 2021?
Yeah, let us know what you're looking forward to most in 2021 when it comes to the world of Superman. We will read your responses out when we return to the big question segment at the end of January. But let's move now into the super secret soundbite.
Only one thing alive with less than 4 legs can hear this frequency, Superman, and that's you.
All right, what is the... well, last month, the sound came from a song. Now we're using this as a new kind of way we're doing the super secret soundbite. Here was the song segment of the word Superman from our super secret soundbite. Oh, it says can't find it. That's good. Let me locate the file for you. Let's see. I think I moved them, so that's probably why I couldn't find it. Here is the song that we featured last month. Where is it? No, that's not it there. It was for... Yeah, here it is. Superman. Superman. So there you have it. The song was I Am Superman by R.E.M. How many people guessed where it came from, Michael?
3 people. They were Jack Rocha, Lynn S.M., and Mike Zubo.
Congratulations to those 3 people for guessing where in the world of Superman that sound came from. Let's see if people can guess where in the world of Superman this new super secret soundbite comes from. Let's see if it'll play. Superman. Let me fix that up. That was the old one. So here is the new one, if I can get it playing for you. Give me a second here. Let me fix that.
Superman. Superman.
There it was. Could you tell where in the world of Superman that song is from? The word Superman being sung. I apologise for the little stuff up there, but it's pretty clear to me, knowing where the song is from myself. But if you think you know where it's from, head to the Superman homepage. Under the contact menu, you will find the super secret soundbite entry form. Send in your entry and we'll read out the names of each person who guessed it right. Like with the big question, under the contact menu at supermanhomepage.com, you'll find the form for the big question segment. So there are 2 monthly segments. Let's see if people can get involved when we return to these segments at the end of January.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually discovered a new, well, it's an older song, but a new song with Superman in the title that I'm actually really fond of now. It's got a ska sound to it, which I didn't realize I missed.
Do you know the name of the song or the name of the artist?
Yes, I do. I didn't want to reveal it in case. I'll tell you after the show.
Oh, okay.
In case you want to use it at some point.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But it's called Superman.
Okay.
So.
Very cool. All right, well, that's 2 segments for our monthly segments. Done them a little bit early because this is our final show of the month and then of the year. So get involved with those segments. All right, well, let's push on to the comic book side of the world, where DC announced today that the Crime Syndicate are returning. The new Earth 3 that comes out of the DC multiverse that we will find is being reborn after Dark Knight's death metal will see the Ultraman, Superwoman, Owlman, Power Ring, Emerald Knight, Johnny Quick, and Atomica. The Crime Syndicate star in a new, I think it's a 6-issue miniseries debuting Tuesday, March 2nd by Andy Schmidt and Kieran McEwen. Here is the cover, if I can find it for you, of the Crime Syndicate, which is coming out, as I said, on March 2nd, the first issue.
I'm actually kind of interested in this. Oddly enough, I'm a sucker for the Crime Syndicate in general. So I'm, since it's a mini series, it's kind of a low risk investment. So I may be checking that out come February.
Cool. Maybe you'll get back into reviewing.
Maybe.
Just put you on the spot there. But
no, given my schedule, it would be worse than before. So
yeah, no, I don't doubt that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this as well. DC has a want to do anti-dark Superman stories, and finally, instead of using our Superman to turn evil, they use Ultraman, who is already there. So it'll be interesting to see how this one pans out. But that was just announced today. But as far as comic books that are out this week, here is what you can look forward to in the world of Superman for comic books out today. We have Dark Knight's Death Metal number 6, which is available in a variety of different variant covers, panning through them right now, including a black and white variant. We also have Tales from the Dark Multiverse, Crisis on Infinite Earths one-shot. That is out this week as well. Justice League number 58 is out this week, and that is available in a variant cover as well. And I don't have it here. Hang on 1 second. I'll just grab them for you. Superman number 28 is also out this week, and there's the cover to that one, and that also comes in a variant cover as well. And then you have Injustice Gods Among Us Omnibus Volume 2 hardcover, which I should be showing. Oh, it's very small, that's why. Let me just quickly fix that up for you. There it is. And also out this week for digital download is the very first chapter in the new series, The Challenge of the Super Sons, which the first chapter is available to download already. It was available yesterday, Monday, December 14th, and that sees the continuation of the adventures of John Kent and Damian Wayne. So digital download for that one.
Yeah, that's very exciting. I'm glad people are getting, especially the people that loved that title, are getting another shot at that, or another bite at that apple.
Mm-hmm. So there's what's out this week. Also, from an Australian manufacturer, this Thursday night they're going to be launching a new series of DC watches. The company is called Uncle Jack, and here is, well, I've never heard of them before, but they are releasing a series of DC watches. Here's a little promo video that they released for these watches. So there you have it. The watches are available at, well, their launch will be 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, Thursday, December 17th, 8 p.m. Uncle Jack will be, these are limited edition officially licensed watches, including Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, and Aquaman. They'll retail for $149 Australian. They'll ship free for all orders placed on launch night and come packaged in an exclusive DC Comics watch box. I have contacted the general manager of the company, and I will be doing an unboxing video and review of the Superman watch. They were very happy to hear from me, being that I'm an Australian and have access to a wider Superman audience to promote these watches. So look for an unboxing video within the next week.
Smart man. That's how you do it.
The logos are a bit small, Justin says. I was surprised at how small the watches logos and that were. I'm just going to grab the images for you to have a look at a bit closer. Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah. No, I was just saying I was giving you a compliment on, figuring out a way to get one. Very smart, sir.
All right, so they're the watches coming out this week. We have a time for This Week in History, Michael, if you're prepared for it.
I am prepared.
Okay.
We've got some good ones, too.
Okay, well, here, let me play your intro for you. Here is This Week in History.
Come with me now, my son, as we break through the bars of your earthly confinement, traveling through time and space.
All right, we are going to 1950 for the first one. December 15th, 1950, you had Action Comics number 153, which in addition to a Tommy Tomorrow, Congo Bill, and Vigilante story, you have Superman with the 100 Deaths of Clark Kent. I believe that's what that was Bendis's pitch to DC, if I'm correct. Also, that same day, Adventure Comics number 161, which in addition to having a Shining Knight, Johnny Quick, and Green Arrow story, you had Superboy and the Girl Who Was Scoop Crazy. I'm assuming that that's not ice cream. Jumping ahead, one of my favorite Superman stories of all time from the Silver Age, from Superman number 143, which came out in 1960, Bizarro Meets Frankenstein. This story is insane, and I am here for it. I love it. It also has the great Superman hoax and Lois Lane's Lucky Day. Jumping to 1970, you have Superman number 234, How to Tame a Wild Volcano. This is one of the most pointed political stories of Superman in the 70s. It's actually really good. I kind of enjoy it. You also have a World of Krypton story, Prison in the Sky. Jumping to 1990, you have Superman number 52, which is the first appearance of the post-crisis Terra Man. yeah, I'm sure everyone's really excited. I liked him. A lot of people didn't. Also, jumping ahead to 2000, you have Adventures of Superman number 587, Metropolis, Hell of a Town, which was written by plotted by J.M. DeMatteis and scripted by Joe Casey, who's about to come onto the show to the title first full time. Jumping to 2010, we have Supergirl number 59, End of the Line, which has the Enter the Doll Maker. And you also had Superman number 706, which was part of the Grounded storyline. This was one of the interruption issues written by G. Willow Wilson, which I remember people at the time thinking was some kind of like nom de plume. No, that's just the creator of the new Marvel Girl, who is about to get her own television series or movie. And that is it for this week in history.
Fantastic. Well, that's pretty cool. It's some interesting comics looking back in this particular week, well back when. All right, to kind of wrap up, your thoughts on 2020 and your hopes for 2021. We've only got 2
I'm
minutes.
laughing. I was about to say, this has been one of the most challenging years of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
I think Superman-wise, it was my least involved year since I started reading the books back in 1987. We got an animated film, which I wasn't that happy with, but we also got the wrap-up to Crisis on Infinite Earths, which was a lot of fun. And the announcement of the Superman and Lois show. So mainly 2020 was more of looking forward to stuff that was in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be more interesting to answer this question next year.
Yeah, and for me, looking back, Superman-wise, 2020 won't go down as a year that will be remembered for any major events. So we had Superman Red Sun, and we had Superman Man of Tomorrow, the animated movies. So they were probably the 2 high points. And then we had the announcements of Zack Snyder's Justice League, and we had the announcements of Superman and Lois, but they're both 2021 releases, and 2021 will be remembered for those particular projects. So they're probably the 2 biggest things that I'm looking forward to in 2021, and I hope that maybe we'll get some announcements of bigger and better things coming in 2021 and beyond next year. So also don't forget in the next day or 2 you're going to be seeing the results of our 2020 Shield Awards, which did look back at everything that was Superman related in 2020, including the Supergirl episodes, the comic books and products and merchandise that were released in 2020. So we will be announcing the winners of all those results in the next few days. So I look forward to those. But it's been a fantastic year for this show as far as 2020 is concerned. We had a few hiccups with technology and things, but I want to thank you with your patience and for your dedication and consistency throughout the year, and really appreciate and continue to enjoy doing the show with you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is the most fun. We're coming up on our 10-year anniversary of doing a live show, in audio or video. So that's going to be kind of interesting to consider. But no, it's fun getting together with you once a week and yakking about Superman, even when our respective internet companies are dropping the ball.
We can't. We just have to battle through on those. But look, I want to thank everyone for their involvement in WGBS for 2020. Really appreciate all your continued support, and especially our sponsors, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, and for a bit there, Tina Murray. We also want to thank all our regular watchers, Justin, Mark, Mind the Gap, Anthony, and so many more, Doug, so many there, Michaels, and people are just every week dropping in and watching the show. We really appreciate your continued support, and we hope you have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a super 2021. And a huge thank you to our sponsors and patrons, Douglas Meacham and John Patrick Van Pelt. And remember, if you want to sponsor the Superman homepage, you can click the join button below on YouTube or head to patreon.com/Superman homepage. Now, the complete 1-hour video of tonight's show will, as always, remain available on our website and our YouTube channel. We'll be back on Tuesday, January 12th, 2021 for our first show of 2021. We look forward to speaking with you then. Until then, be sure to check out supermanhomepage.com for all your daily news updates on everything surrounding the Man of Steel. I'm Steve Eunice on behalf of myself and Michael Bailey. Thank you for watching WGBS TV Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com. Bye. Actually, I want to play a Superman Christmas message. I think I've got it somewhere here. Let's see how we go with this. There's no message, but Merry Christmas, everyone. See you next year.
Bye-bye.
Bye.